Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can go from an idea to a custom created WeWeb component that your entire team can use visually without anyone needing to touch code. This is the community wall that I built for our end of the year newsletter, and as you can see, it's pretty interactive. You can drag and drop, you can click to access different URLs, and the beauty of having this built with a custom component is that you can come here and make modifications in a no-code interface. As an example, I can change the avatar shape into a square, I can change the description size, I can change the area where the description is to make it larger, to change the images. Behind the scenes, all of this custom component was created with AI, thanks to Cursor, and my job was to guide it, prompt it correctly, so it was surfacing all of the props that I wanted all of my teammates to be able to work with visually. Now, here are a couple of prerequisites for this video. First, you need to have Cursor installed. Second, you need to have initialized an empty WeWeb component inside of Cursor. And third, you need to connect GitHub with Cursor. Now, this video is going to be focusing on what comes after the setup. So if you don't know how to do any of these things, we have created a comprehensive tutorial on how to do it that I'm going to be linking down below in the description. Now, the first step that we're going to be doing is what I call the testing phase, where we're going to be working with Cursor connected with our WeWeb project to create this custom component in a test environment so we don't break anything. Later, when we're ready to publish and to move into a production-ready environment, I'm going to show you how you can do it through GitHub. But now, let's just focus back into our testing environment. Alright, so I created a new WeWeb project. The only thing that I did is I created a section with 100% width and 100% VH. And I clicked here in More, Development, and Open Development Editor. And this is what we have. Then I click here, and this is going to be our testing environment. And this is what I showed you here, right? So Cursor is speaking directly to our project. And here's the community wall. Let me just clear this one to show you. I'm gonna be coming here and I'm gonna be dragging it here. And this is just like an empty component. It's just a placeholder. Now I'm going to go back to Cursor, and this is the empty project. We can work on this like any developer without even needing AI if you know what you're doing. As an example, we can come into the files like element view here and let's just change the size. So right now, here's the size, and let's just quickly change it to 50, and then the text, let's just say, I am the greatest element. And now, if I save it, this should be updated here live. And before I do anything else, I need to tell Cursor how it is to build a WeWeb component under the hood. So what are the rules? And we have an entire tutorial, what I'm going to be sharing down below as well in written format, where you're going to be able to copy the knowledge file. And once I copy it, I can come to Cursor, Settings, Rules and Commands, Project Rules, add a rule, custom rule, let's call it first rule. Enter, and in here, I'm going to be pasting this entire rule set. Again, this is telling Cursor how it is and which steps it should take in order to build our custom component. Let's get back into our chat, which is our main development tool right now, and I'm going to start prompting it to create this component. I want to create a community wall of love like that created the project. And this is going to be our first prompt. Let me just press enter. And now Cursor is going to go step by step and it's going to walk me through how it is planning, how it is thinking, what's happening, if I need to approve or if I need to refuse some changes. Now we just wait. All right, it is done. Now we can review what happened and basically commit or approve or deny all of its changes. What I'm going to be doing right now is basically keeping everything, keep all, and I should be able to go back to my project and it reloaded. So I'm not gonna need to add this component again. Wow, these images are big, but now we have something that we can start working with. We can click into preview and see what is going on. It's not exactly what I asked, right? And so we can go back and try to have a conversation to try to fix this. I'm gonna paste one prompt that I use for my other one, which is instead of an app that shows cards, which is what it's doing right now, I would like to create a mood board where you can drag and drop each image like a travel dream photos. The images should be randomized in the board and they can be slightly crooked as if someone pasted photos in the board. And each card is going to be the photo, a description, and when you click on a card, you'll navigate to a URL I can modify. This will be a showcase of what the community has built in 2025. All right, so now it has finished my changes. Once again, it just explains exactly what it did, what it changed, and then we can undo or keep it all. I'm gonna keep it and to see what happened. So I'm going to go back here. I'm gonna refresh. All right, now as you can see, this is getting closer to what we wanted. Let's preview it and see, okay, we can drag them horizontally, but not vertically. So this is sort of fun. It's beautiful. Let's see what happens when you click on it. Nothing. We can also start seeing what this looks like, right? So these are the props. So this are all of the things in the settings that all of your no-code teammates are going to be able to work with. And as you can see, like the card width, but it's also not being implemented. Min height as well, not properly being implemented. Now let's try and see if height has anything to do with like the fact that I'm not being able to drag it vertically. Yeah, it had. Perfect. So now we're getting closer to something usable, which is quite interesting. What I do want is I want to be able for any team member to just put a URL, right? So on click. Oh, all right. Let me see if this works actually. On click, it's not really working. So I can try to work on that and I can also add other features. And let's keep working on this. I want to add a description. A description to the cards. An image avatar next to the title, which will be the community member name and image. Also, when I click on a card, it's not opening the URL properly. It's not opening the URL. I'm just gonna say that. All right, so it's done with this. Let's skip it all. Go back here. Let's go to dev. Let's add it. Remember that I needed to change their height, which I also need to fix on the next push. Let's put it as 100% VH. Preview, and we can already see that we have a name, a description, and an image, just like we wanted. Let's check for URLs. Interesting. Now we have this error. I'm gonna copy this so we can, Command A. When I click a card, I faced this error. And now cursor is going to try and fix this issue. All right, so it's explaining to me that it was a loop and I should be able to go back to it. And yeah, now it's fixed. So that's another of the benefits of working together with AI to create these custom components. Now, another setting that I want to be able to work on is the card width, which right now it's not working. So I want to ask it to work on it. So right now the setting prop called card width is not working. Fix it. And I also want one that allows me to choose the fit of the image, another for, let's say, the size of the for text size for the title and the description. All right, new update. Let's see how it is. Oh, we're still having this error. So I'm gonna put it back into cursor. All right, now a couple of iterations forward, and now we have more settings to play with. Let me select first the mood board. And now let's see if the card width works. It does. Let's say 300 pixels. Yeah, this one we didn't work in, but here I should have the image fit, right? Which I thought it was important. The title font size and the description font size. All right, and now let's say that I am happy with this. Now, what we've been doing is we have been developing inside our testing phase. And now in order to turn this into a really useful component that can be used into a production environment and a production app, we need to push it to GitHub. And with GitHub connected to our WeWeb workspace, we're going to be able to choose which version of that component we want to bring into our account. So I'm going to come here, push and commit to GitHub. Now, since it's already connected with my own account and with this specific project, it's going to do it by itself. But you need to go back and watch the tutorial that I'm going to be sharing down below so you understand how this is done. Once you push your entire project into GitHub, you're going to be able to bring it back into your WeWeb account and workspace. And here you're going to be able to see that I have my community wall that I created, the first one, and you're able to choose the version, right? So this one was the latest that I modified 10 days ago. And more important than that, in any project that you're already working on, you're going to be able to click on add, and in here where it says coded, you're going to be able to just bring it back like a regular component. And that's the beauty of it, because right now this can be used by anyone with all of the parameters that we work together in order to expose it. Now non-technical people can come here and start working with it visually. And also we can apply workflows, let's say on card drag, right? So every time I drag a card, let me just play around with it, and let me just say a log, right? And then card was moved, right? It's very simple, but we can just preview it, and in here card was moved. So you can start launching complex workflows with your custom coded component. So how awesome is that? Alright, so I hope this was an interesting introduction into the world of creating custom components with Cursor. And I hope I inspired you to create your own. And if you do, please share it into our community forum where everyone's going to be able to praise it and take a look at it. Alright, happy building!